Hello, everyone out there in virtual video land. Welcome to another installment of a SMAC Gallery exhibit series. Every time that the Southwest Minnesota Arts Council is honored to host an artist or a group of artists, we have a virtual reception, and that is what this is. And we are excited to have a guest as well as some artists on that are in this group exhibit. So the exhibit we're talking about is an exhibit that opened on July 17th. I'm just looking down at notes, and will run until August 29th of 2025. By the way, I'm Nicole DeBoer. I am the Executive Director at the Southwest Minnesota Arts Council. We are primarily a grant funder serving 18 counties and 2 sovereign nations in the southwest corner of Minnesota. Welcome to this channel. I want to tell you about the list of artists that we have exhibiting in the gallery. We are calling this gallery show Staff and Board. And that is exactly what it is. It is 3 staff members and 5 current and past board members on our board of directors. We have Anna Johansson exhibiting fiber arts and mixed media. She is a past board member. We have Carolyn Koska on our staff showcasing her harp and vocals. We have Eunice Woodbury, a current board member and also on this video. Eunice is a fiber artist. We have John White exhibiting. He's a past board member. He is a photographer. We have Crystal Lawaji on our staff and mixed media, and excited to see all of her work. We have Maggie Fuller, a past board member. I would say abstract oils and acrylics. And Mark Tody on our call. He is a current board member from Pipestone County, and Mark is a graphic artist and photographer. And then myself, I had to look down at the list. I am number 8, Nicole DeBoer, and the work that I'm exhibiting is both photography and some watercolor together. And so we've been really excited to have this show running since the middle of July. We had a really nice reception with a lot of folks attending and viewing the artwork. And then we have this virtual show. And as I mentioned earlier, you still have time to come to the gallery at 509 West Main in Marshall and check it out. It's open until Friday, August 29th. Our regular hours are Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to noon, and then 1 to 4. So find some time in your day to stop into Marshall and check out the show. It's very, it's eclectic because there's so many different kinds of mediums that are being presented. And it's very colorful and it's very inspiring. Even as an artist that's exhibiting in the show, I love looking at other people's work against mine and doing some thinking process about what I might do differently and some directions to go as an artist. So one thing that we always show on these, that we capture on these, is we are grateful to Crystal as a staff member who is our communications director and does a video of the whole gallery, and I'm making a sweeping motion because she goes around and showcases every piece in the gallery. And so we are going to have Crystal kick that off, and you will be able to experience the whole show. One thing I want to prep you for when you're watching this video clip is that the backgrounds are Carolyn performing on her harp. And then also there is a segment in there where Carolyn will be performing music and vocals. So yeah, we are gonna have Crystal. I believe, Crystal, do you have access to play that?
Yep, and I was just gonna mention there's one short segment that's not Carolyn's, but you'll recognize it. It's just a low beats thing, so it's not the harp. But everything else that you'll recognize as harp is all Carolyn's music. So I will get the video queued up to go.
Well, that was lovely while Crystal's getting unsharing or stop sharing. I think that's what you're looking for is a stop
Yeah,
share.
to stop share.
That was wonderful. It's so great to see everyone's work. I also will say again for anyone watching this after the fact, please come and see it in person. It's a whole different experience than seeing things move quickly in front of your eyes. But I guess the beauty of video is you can pause it or you can stop on an image and hold it. So I think Crystal literally left the meeting so that she could stop sharing. She will be back to us in a minute. So we have Mark Toady, Eunice Woodbury, John White, Carolyn, Crystal's coming back, and myself all on this call. We can ask each other questions. We can make comments. We have our friend Thomas Flynn joining us as well. So just knowing that this will be slightly edited and then posted on the SMAC website later for others to watch. So don't be afraid to ask each other questions because a lot of people might learn from those things. So I'm going to stop talking and open it up and welcome back, Crystal. Thanks for doing what you needed to do to get that all to work.
I don't know why I couldn't figure it out this time, but oh well.
You got it. There is rolling endless thunder in Marshall right now. Ooh. It's very bizarre. So hopefully we don't just bleep go out. Anybody have anything they'd like to jump in and say?
I don't have a question, but I have a comment. Crystal, I have always admired your portrait work. The use of textures and colors and layers, it really is inspiring. I'm not an illustrator. I'm more of a graphic designer and compositor side of things. And the hand-drawn illustration and the computer renderings, I love it. And so I really admire it.
Thank you. Everything in this show is 2 layers. So there's like a bottom layer of watercolor and then a top layer that's semi-transparent vellum. And some have another layer on top of that. So it's flat, but I always work with that kind of see-through stuff so that I can do those layers on there and get a lot in there.
Since we're talking to Crystal, when did you first start doing those transparent layers and what made you think to try that?
So I first started, okay. Originally, I started with computer paper and holding it up to a screen to like occasionally trace the outline of a portrait so that I could get the proportions right. And then I started like using tracing paper to do that on some photos. And then I realized that tracing paper is really crappy and thin. So I discovered or rediscovered, I had used vellum in college to do some layering stuff, but it was really expensive because it was like the art version of vellum. And then I realized you can get like a craft version that's meant to go through like a printer to print like wedding invitations, and that was cheap now. So that was what I do. So a lot of what I do is tracing an outline, and then I go back in and put in all the details and change what I want to change and stuff like that. So I know I could technically probably freehand everything, but it takes me 8 to 10 hours to do one of those portraits anyway. So I do usually trace the outline of the hair and stuff like that so that it's a quicker process. So you asked when I started doing that. I think I started doing it around the time that I bought my house here because I didn't have hardly any of my art supplies and I needed something that I could do that was small. Because a lot of stuff was in storage. So that would have been 6, 7 years ago, something like that.
By the way, Crystal does commissions. If you think a portrait as a gift for someone would be a great gift, you can certainly connect with her.
Pet portraits are my most popular. I've done a lot of dogs.
How long does it take you to do one of those layered pieces?
Usually around 8 to 10 hours, I would say. A lot of times, either I would like to do it on like a Sunday when I know I have a big block of time that I can work on it, or else I'll break it into 2 like 4-hour type things, and I'll put something I like on the TV in the background or listen to a podcast and just work. Eunice, since you're here, this isn't a question, but I really liked your bio when you said that you decided to take quilting classes so that the dads would have to take care of the kids.
Yeah, 4 frustrated moms. It was easier than running away.
I full-heartedly support taking art classes and
Yeah.
letting somebody else watch the kids for a while.
Yeah, I had done, basics, sew a bunch of squares together and had my grandma help me tie it. I'd done a couple of those, but I really never thought about doing quilting as a hobby or an art until we took those classes. So
How long ago did you take that class?
it would have been about 40 years ago.
Okay, well.
A little less than that, but yeah.
Mark, where do you come up with your inspiration for the lighting that you do in your photography? Because I just think you are the master of light. In your Bonnie and Clyde that was shown on here and that you have on exhibit is just stellar. So I don't know.
My inspiration comes from the stage. Actually, it's many hours sitting behind a light console with a dark stage, and then experimenting with how light rakes across different subjects and how the surface of that subject changes the colors of things, and light changes color, and how it reacts to the surface of those objects, and all of those. It's the stage that has inspired me. A lot of my just even the more commercial or traditional portrait work that I had done out of my studio, it still had a sense or a flair of drama and theatrical lighting to it, and it's all because of the influence of the stage.
But I have noticed that even when you're shooting outside, you're able to like control the sun for somehow. You and your son are one, and you're able to move people so that that light is casting perfectly in where you want it to go.
Yeah, lots of patience and waiting for the right moment.
John, do you have a similar plan when you're shooting stuff outside? A lot of waiting for the right light?
I think Crystal or Carolyn was asking you, John.
I know he was having problems with Zoom, so maybe he doesn't have the sound working.
Carolyn, tell us about your harps, plural, multiple, and how you came to love that medium, that instrument.
It's something that I'd always been interested in, even from a little kid, but I never really thought it was possible to do. And I started playing about 5 years ago. And I started on a harp that my husband actually made for me. There's a maker in, we got our tornado sirens. I'm already in the basement.
We're gonna cancel here in Marshall. I'm gonna stop the recording and we may have to reschedule, but I gotta get family in a basement. So everybody be well. I'm sure it's all fine, but that's a weird one.
Stay safe.